Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and this is the final part to converting Lexy's Legacy of the Dragonborn into VR. I am so grateful that you guys have chosen to follow my video series, and I thank you so much for trusting me, and I really hope it pays off. Okay, before we get into this video, there's something we need to do. Simple Offense Suppression VR. It didn't occur to me when I was doing my testing to attack friendly NPCs. But when you do, it causes an immediate crash to desktop. So I highly recommend you do not use this mod. So we're just gonna have to go without simple offense suppression. Oh well. Alright, on with the guide. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a separator for all the mods we're about to install. So click on the three dots, create separator, and I'm just calling this Skyrim Vr mods. Cool. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install True 3D Sound for headphones. This enables 3D sound positioning in game. You'll hear exactly from which direction the sound is coming. Sounds good, yeah? So files. And it's a manual download. So let's download it and save it. And then let's go to our download folder. Let's open up that zip file. Excellent. And then let's go into our Steam shortcut. Locate Skyrim Vr, and let's drag this into Skyrim Vr. That's it. Done. Cuckoo. Next mod, Skyrim Vr Tools, providing open VR input information and control as a service to other Skyrim VR mods. It's something we need to make other mods work. So let's go and download this. And install it. Activate. Moving on, another tool that we need, Power of Three's Papyrus Extender, SKSE VR plugin that extends Papyrus script functionality. So let's download the VR version here. Clickety click, download, and install. You guys excited? You guys excited? This is gonna be great. All right, and a return to console util, fresh off the presses, or fresh off the boat, fresh off the whatever. This literally came out like today or last night or something like that. But this is good to have because it will give us full functionality of another's followers framework. And let's install that. Boop. I will endorse you when I'm able to. Okay, Skyrim VR USEP Dwarven Ballistic Missing Textures fix. Good to have. No one likes missing textures. And just a heads up, the same bug that was causing this problem with this ballista causes a similar issue with Resize, Tales of, I forgot the full name of that mod, but her pet cat, the one that you use as a mount for Marisi, is going to have like a missing textures problem, and unfortunately there is not a fix for that yet. Okay, next up, VR Perk Extender. This makes it so that Ordinator will not crash Skyrim VR. So let's install this. Next up, Ordinator VR patch. Currently fixes nearly all of crafting perk bugs such as Advanced Lab, Advanced Workshop, and etc. There are certain perks that just don't work in VR, and this fixes that. So let's install it. Cuckoo cuckoo. Then VR power attack fix. Makes forward, sideways, and backwards power attacks easier to execute in VR. Sounds good. Let's install this one. Very good. VR bound bow FX restored. It restores the fade in and purple flame effects on the bound bow. I love the bound bow. Activate that. Skyrim VR Refocused. Refocusing the Skyrim VR window when it loses focus. Allows for the use of tools such as OVR Toolkit to work on desktop windows without breaking mods that require Skyrim to have keyboard inputs. Yeah, we definitely want that. Install it. Okay, VR menu mouse fix enables mouse for SkyUI VR. Good. I can't play without it. Activate. All right, so like I said, there was a Skyrim particle patch for ENB. I said in my previous video that the one we had installed was the best option. It is not. This is an older version of Skyrim particle patch for ENB SSE by Mindflux, because with the new one, you don't have blowing fog effects during certain storms anymore. No need to activate the ESP, just install the textures and meshes, and this is thanks to Beaton, who is the author of Scenery ENB VR for Skyrim VR. All we need from him is the Skyrim particle patch here. And we are going to install that. Okay, so click on manual here, deselect DSP, we don't want that, click OK. And then we're going to send this priority position to 201. Then let's go up to it. Here it is. So position this under the previous version of the particle patch that we're using, and disable the previous version. Okay, now we're going to install Instant Equip VR, SKC plugin that essentially skips weapon drawing and sheathing animations. This makes Vr feel like it's running a lot more smoother. Let's go ahead and install that. What's cool is the majority of these mods don't have plugins. All right, Vr. This is the latest version, and we're going to download from here. Click up here on this arrow, download. Wait a second. And then save the file. Okay, let's install it. Vr. Open. And install it. Now the actual Vr page, you don't want to download this version of Vr. It's not as up to date as the one we've already downloaded. But we do want the Rift Index WMR controller bindings. And for index controller users rather, there's one additional step that we have to do after we load Skyrim. So I'm going to name this controller bindings. Okay, for my index controller user peeps, what you're going to want to do after you load into Skyrim VR, open up this window, go into controller bindings. From active controller binding, go to custom, choose another. Just wait, okay. After this pops up, you want to find this right here, Vr Index Controller Bindings version 2.1.0. It'll be down here, and you'll see activate next to it. And just click activate, and that'll be it. Okay, activate it. Hijinx. This mod I am so excited to use. My last playthrough of Skyrim VR, this wasn't quite ready yet. So yeah, this is actually the main reason why I'm going to do another Skyrim VR playthrough. All right, so let's download it. And install it. Oh dear, this is getting quite crowded. Let's clear it out. Subtitle dialog HUD resize for VR shrinks and lowers the subtitles display in the main HUD for VR. Since we're using Fuzroda, you're gonna have subtitles pretty much everywhere. This makes it less intrusive. So let's install it. Okay. Activate. Custom favorites menu. It makes it so your custom favorites menu is a bit more usable. So we're going to install this. Okay. Just a main file. And then we're going to install the VR compatibility patch or whatever for it. So activate that, install this. Custom favorites menu VR. Very nice. Okay, simple realistic archery VR. For me, this is a must-have mod. I cannot play the game without this. What this basically does is automatically unequips your arrows after shooting them, then re-equips the arrow after pressing the... Okay, what this is basically boils down to is you have to manually reach over your shoulder to grab a new arrow. A new arrow just doesn't magically appear in your hand every time you shoot the arrow. So download the main file and download the update. So let's install it and install the update. We're just going to merge it into the main file. Activate. Okay, next up, we're going to install a new tool, Synthesis. For you guys following the latest version of Lexy's Legacy of the Dragonborn guide, you probably already have this set up. For those of you who don't, this is how we're going to do it. So let's go and download the zip here. Save the zip. Let's open up our downloads folder. Open up Synthesis. Let's go into Lexy's Legacy of the Dragonborn shortcut here. New folder. We're going to call it Synthesis. Okay. Now we're going to drag everything in the zip file into that new folder. Great. We can go and close this out. Okay, now in Mod Organizer, go into the drop down here, go up to Edit. Click on the plus sign, Add from File. Click on Legacy's Legacy of the Dragonborn. Bloop. Go into Synthesis and click on synthesis.exe. Open. Should already be named for us, and then OK. Now that's ready for us when we need it. All right, we are now installing Skyvran Shimmering VR Waters. All right, let's download this. All right, now let's install it. Okay, we're gonna go with natural for main water. Volcanic, I'm going with poisonous, so it matches the vanilla coloring. And we want the black reach water. We're gonna go with the new improved cube map. We're gonna skip the vanilla cube map because we are using Sky realistic water. Next, Skyvran rocky riverbeds. Yes, I love how that looks. Density, normal density. Rock shade, we're gonna go with dark. Scroll down, I'm gonna keep the rock color gray. And for extras, I'm gonna go with slightly higher poly pebbles. If you guys are like doubting your GPUs or whatever, you might want to leave that off. Next, I'm gonna go with the 4K option for Rally's water film. And we're gonna skip this because we are not using vanilla. Then install. Okay, I activate that. Okay, for those of you who are disappointed that you couldn't use the experience mod for your leveling overhaul, I highly recommend Skyrim Experience mod by Stradivukos. I've been using this mod since the Legendary Edition. So what does this mod do? Well, performing actions will yield XP or experience points, and that XP can be used to upgrade desired skills. What it does is you use experience points as currency and you spend them to level up your skills. Like for instance, one-handed no longer levels up from using one-handed weapons. You just earn experience points. And you use those experience points to level up whatever skill you want. So yeah, let's install it. We're not going to extract that BSA. Alright, so if you chose to install Asxp, I highly recommend you do this. Go into it into MCM, go into notifications toggles, and under master switch, turn that off, or else you are going to get spammed with all kinds of notifications. Also, another thing to note, under general, this right here, prevent XP gain. This is what prevents you from gaining experience normally from one-handed weapons and whatnot. If you want sort of a hybrid approach to where you can still level up whatever skill you want manually, or through use rather, you want to disable that. Okay, I have this up here, Legacy Safe House. We want to delete the script that's in there. So right here in the filter, I'm typing Legacy Safe for Legacy Safe House. Go into that mod, open Explorer, and we're going to delete the scripts. There's only one script in there, Manny Slapper script. What that does is it's meant to fix the weird mannequin drifting problem. That's a problem in vanilla. We're just gonna have to go without this. And honestly, I don't see that those mannequins drifting as a big deal anyway. But the problem with this in VR, it causes this weird looping effect in Skyrim VR, to where you get these consistent loading screens. Like, you know, in Steam VR, when you're loading up a game and you see that sort of infinite horizon wire mesh sort of landscape. Yeah, that constantly pops up, like intermittently just keeps popping up once this script starts firing, and it doesn't stop. And it ruined several playthroughs until I finally narrowed it down to what was happening. So just delete those scripts. You don't need the scripts for this mod to work. Okay, Pandables NPCs. Yeah, there is a problem with this mod. I love this mod so much, but there is a certain iMesh that's not compatible with Skyrim VR. All the NPCs from Pandables NPCs Dawnguard will have empty eye sockets.
Okay guys, as you can see, these eyes are really messed up. She's lacking them. Pretty much all of Pantable's Dawnguard NPCs have that problem. Poor Sarana, no! What's wrong with your face?
All right, and this is how you're going to fix it. So we're going to re-download this main file here from Pandables. And the main thing is we're not going to install this gray face fix here. But what we are going to install is the VR patch. Oh yes. So let's download that. Okay, so we have to refer back to Lexy's guide here to know which meshes and textures that we need to exclude from our install here. And luckily it's only one mesh and one texture. But we got to do it for both installations here. So let's reinstall Pandables NPC's Dawnguard. So double click that. At the very end here, I'm typing in VR. And instead of installing it and then manually deleting, I'm just going to do this. So we're going into Meshes, Actors, Character, Face Gen, Face Geom, and Dawnguard. And we're looking for one that's ending in 336E. So 336E, right there, 336E. Just uncheck that box. All right. Now we're going to go into textures and do the same thing. So textures, actors, character, face gen, face tint, Dawnguard. So 336E right there. Uncheck that box. Very good. Then click install or OK. All right, now we're going to install the for VR users here. And we're going to name it the same thing, Pandables NPCs, Dawnguard VR. We want to merge it into that. So let's go to manual, and this one only has meshes. So meshes, actor, character, face gen, face geom, Dawnguard. So we're looking for 336E right there. Untick that box. Okay, and merge. All right, that's it. Activate it. And so there are other ramifications with Pandables. Pandables Sarana has that same problem. So, and there is no VR patch for her, which is unfortunate. So we're going to go back to an old favorite, Saranaholic. We're going to install whatever version of Sarana you like. I like 1.5. This is 1.5. Okay, so let's install her. Saranaholic. I'm going to go red eyes, default weight of 20. Next, we're using UNPB body. Next, 4K textures. I'll go with default. And then installer. And also, we need to replace Valerica. Valerica has the same problem. So, go down to the optional section of Saranaholic and install Valerica. Download. Install. And let's make sure we rename her Valerica. Stick with the UNP body. Next, red eyes, so her eyes match her daughter's. Hair color, I'm going to go with black. You can go with whatever you want. And then next, nah, I don't want her to have wrinkles. She's a vampire. She's immortal, ageless. And then install her. And so we got to rebuild that Mpc Retexture Merged patch. So let's go and activate that. Delete installed. But we're going to hold off on that just for now. And I have this here linked to remind me that the Eyes of Beauty Vampire Eyes, we have to disable this mod because using Vrick, you can use like a mirror-like effect where you can see your own player character. And when you do that, if you use this mod, your character will have empty eye sockets. So we got to delete it. So I'm just typing in eyes here and just disable it. Too bad because it looks really cool. All right, now we're going to rebuild Mpc Retextures Merged. So first step is to enable those plugins. So merge plugins hide. Go into Mpc Retextures Merged right here and enable those plugins. Very good. Drop down to profile here, go to Mpc Retextures Merged, and we should have everything here. Good. So now we have to re-enable Serranaholic, Valerica, and the Pandables Dawn Guard that we installed for VR. So I'm typing in Pand right here. And here it is. And then locate Pandables NPC's Dawn Guard VR, the one that you installed. Okay. Now the first things we're going to do is we're going to drag Serrana and Valerica up to Pandables, Serrana and Valerica. And then Pandables, Serrana and Valerica, we're going to drag those to the very bottom here. Now having done that, in the filter here, let's type in Pandables Dawn Guard again. And what we actually want to do is Pandables NPC's Dawn Guard, the one that we installed for Special Edition, we're going to go ahead and deselect that. All right, now let's rebuild this merge. So drop down to Z-Edit, Run. Go into Z-Merge and start session. And let's go down to Mpc Retextures Merged. That's right here. Go into Edit, Plugins. Go all the way down. We want to select Serrana and Valerica and deselect Pan Serrana and Pan Valerica. And make sure Dawn Guard is checked. And Pan NPC's Dawn Guard. Yep. And click OK and build. All right, when it's done, we can go and close it out. Very nice. Now let's go back to Legacy of Dragonborn. And then merge plugins hide. Let's hide Mpc's Retextures Merged. All right, very nice. Okay, we still have Pan Serrana and Pan Valerica out and about. We will deal with that just a second, but let's go into filter here, type in Pandables again. And we want to make sure that Pandables Dawn Guard, where is it? Pandables Dawn Guard for a special edition is unchecked. And also you can see here that Dawn Guard VR is overriding the salt and wind textures. So we're going to have to deal with that. See, the gray lightning bolt means that every single file in this mod has been overwritten. So we need this to load after Dawn Guard. You know what, let's go ahead and do that. So just click that for easier selection. Also, we could look at the priority load orders, 524. Clean the broom. Okay, here's 524. Now we could either drag Pandables VR up to here, or we could drag this down to Pandables. I'm just gonna drag this down. I'm gonna load that after Dawn Guard VR. Okay, now we're gonna deal with these two plugins here. But before we hide them, we're going to use them as a placeholder or a means to find those NPCs easier in SSE Edit because we got to forward some conflicts. All right, make sure both Serrana and Valerica here are checked and then hit OK. Okay, now with these plugins, we could use them to easily find the records that we need to forward. So here's Serrana, go into non-player character, Serrana. And we want to forward the stuff from Mpc Retextures Merged through to Zpatch. So we want Serrana body armor to be forwarded. We want the head parts forwarded, of course. And let's see, yeah. We want to delete the head texture. And then we want to forward the texture lighting. We're not forwarding it to Pan Serrana because we're going to remove that anyway. So the face morph, we're going to delete that. Then we're going to forward the face parts. And that should be it for Serana. Now Bijin, or Serana Holic actually makes Serana Essential. You could forward that if you want. All right, Serana, now Valerica. Okay. So we're not going to worry about this stuff here, the virtual machine stuff, because Lexy chose not to forward anything there. Okay, so Worn Armor, Valerica Armor, we're going to forward that through to Z-Patch. And then the head parts. The hair color. We're going to delete the head texture here. And then we're going to forward the texture lighting. We're going to delete the face morphs here. And now the face parts. And the tint layers. All right, that'll do her. So go ahead and close this out. Make sure those are checked and okay. And now we can go ahead and hide Serana and Veronica and Valerica. So I'll click on Serana, see the little blue notch going up to it, and I'm disabling that, and I'm going to disable Valerica here, Pandables. Okay, another thing we have to do, let's go into the Pandables Dawnguard VR. Let's re-enable the plugin from this, because there are some errors that we had to deal with from making this change in the merge. So make sure you load that up, make sure it's selected, and go into SSE Edit. This is pretty quick, no problems. All right, just go ahead and load everything up, and make sure Pandables Dawnguard is in fact checked. And we're just using it to make it easier to find NPCs that we need to deal with. No mod groups. All right, let's go down. Open up Pandables, NPCs, and we're going to start from the top. Sybil Stentor. And you see here, there's an error. And it's an easy fix. All we have to do is from Mpc Retextures Merged, just drag this tab over. And that fixes it. And that's the only thing we want to do here. And then just go down the line. Alva also has an error. And with this, we're just going to remove the errors. All right, Hearn. Same deal. Let's remove these errors. Okay, Hurt. So just drag those head parts over. Just all the way through to Z-Patch. Novingalo. Right here. And we're going to drag over male vampire. Well, actually, just drag over head parts. Just like that. Then we're going to do that for the rest here. Drag over head parts. And for this one, it's going to be both Lexy's conflict and Z-Patch. So just drag it through. Just like that. Make sure you forward the head texture too. Make sure I didn't miss any. Yeah, these head textures need to be forwarded. Yeah, forward the head texture. Or else you can get a gray face bug if you don't. So I'm just double checking I did that. Okay. Oh, right here. Almost missed it. That would have sucked. Okay. So where were we? We were at Fural. Now Garen. Let's go to Garen. We already fixed Garen. Hesla. This one we're gonna for the head parts and the head texture. Just like that. Farron. Same deal. And we're removing the head texture here. There we go. Ronthil. Alright, no head texture to worry about with that one. Isran. Isran looks okay. Sarine. Infection. Everything here looks fine with Sarine. Alright, Gunmar. Gunmar has to be forward. Nope, Gunmar's fine. Florentius. Yep, Florentius is fine. Agamar. Yep, this is fine. It's pretty much all the vampires is the ones that had problems. All right, this one is fine as well. Lord Harkin probably has some problems. Let's see. Here's the head parts. Nope, looks like Harkin is fine. Okay. Katria. Katria is fine. Katria Corpse is fine. Galabar is good. Tild. Alright, Tild is good. Vori. Vori's good. Olrod. Olrod's good. Namasur. Let's see. Nope, Namasur needs to be fixed. So drag from head parts over. And also the head texture. Okay. Modha has a problem, so for the head parts and the head texture. Durak. Durak looks okay. Then Ceylan. And Ceylan is fine. Alright, after you've done that, close it out. Make sure those boxes are checked and click OK. And there's a few more NPCs that we have to sort through from the ramifications of having to rebuild Mpc Retextures Merged in order to fix Pandable's Dawnguard to work in VR. So let's do this. And these NPCs are mostly pertaining to like Iki's overhaul. So let's go and open up SSE Edit. And let's load the entire mod list. Okay. Let's type in NPC and go to Mpc Retextures Merged. I'm going to open that up. Let's open up the players. And now I'm going to clear out the filter here. All right. So let's go down and look for the red stuff. So here's Balamund. And we need to forward this worn armor for Balamund. Easy cake. Next up, Esbern. Gonna forward the Esbern naked skin and a hair color. Mule needs to be sorted out. Just drag the head parts over. Keep it going. Igmund. Igmund has several things that needs to be sorted. So forward the worn armor, forward the head parts, and forward the hair color. Madanak. Worn armor, head parts, and hair color. The things we do to indulge in VR. Okay, so with this, we're not worried about it because this is actually a child overhaul. All right, Idgrid Cravenhorn, Raven Crone. So head parts and hair color. And the younger, worn armor, head parts, hair color. All right, Sid Gear. Sid Gear worn armor needs to be forwarded. Keep scrolling on down. Fralia Greyborn. The worn armor needs to be forwarded, and the head parts, the hair color, and the default outfit. So much going on with that one. Heimskir needs to be fixed. Worn armor needs to be forwarded. Head parts need to be forwarded. Farengar. So worn armor and head parts. Yeah, it's mostly E-keys that got affected. Alum. Items and items. Okay. Alum is actually fine. Icantar. Head parts need to be forwarded, and so does the worn armor. Keep going down. That might be it. Nope. Got a few more. Varnius. Packages. Okay, no, Varnius is fine. Gralnak. Gralnak is fine. Kodlak. Yeah, Kodlak needs to be fixed. So worn armor. Head parts. Hair color. And that's it for that. Ayla. Head parts need to be forwarded. Okay, now Ria. Okay, so other stuff got affected here and there. All right. Well, it's a good thing we're going through this list here. Cicero, worn armor, head parts, hair color, default outfit. Tofdir, head parts, and hair color. Babette. Nope, Babette's fine. Because it's RS Children that's handling that. Okay, Dun, whatever this is. That name. Looks like we're going to afford these texture colliding. Okay, that's good. So just keep scrolling down. Bandits, that's probably nothing to do with us. A face morph. I'm going to forward it, although I don't think it matters. That is probably it, but I'm going to go down, check all of these. Yeah, that's fine. Cicero Road definitely needs to be fixed. So worn armor, head parts, hair color, and default outfit. Hireling Eric the Slayer, do you need to be sorted? No, Eric the Slayer is fine. Temba Wide Arm, yep. Worn armor, head parts, default outfit, and sleeping outfit. Alright, Temba is fine. Almost done. Uthgard. Uthgard is fine. Cicero Dawnstar. Cicero needs to be fixed. So worn armor, head parts, hair color, default outfit, Blue Palace Mare Maiden. What is this? No. Blue Palace Mare Maiden is fine. Hireling Belrand. It's fine. Looks like Lexy wants the cutting room floor's default outfit to be forwarded anyway. Okay, what else? Battle Rick. Battle Rick is fine. Ingajard is fine. Balavel is fine. Tildren. Okay, Tildren needs to be sorted. Hair color. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to look in the NPC records, the NPC tree, I guess, in Mpc Retextures Merged. And the main things you're looking for is worn armor, head parts, hair color, and like default outfit. Nelos, like here's a good example. It's the head parts. Rumerin, head parts. Vulgus, head parts, head texture. Aravan, Nelos. Yeah, it's a good thing I'm doing a double check in this. Okay, Erwin is fine. Delane needs to be fixed. Delane clone also needs to be fixed. And that's all she wrote. Okay. And then just close it out. Make sure those two are saved. Click OK. All right, next up, we're going to deal with the plugins from Skyvran. And we're going to merge Skyvran Watergrass into, what was it, Landscape Fixes and Grass Fixes or something like that. And then Blackreach and Volcanic and Watercolor. I'm going to drag Watercolor to the top. I don't think it matters, but Watercolor, Blackreach, and Volcanic. We're going to merge this with keeping it clean and realistic water tube patches or whatever it's called. But anyways, let's do Watergrass first. Let's go into Merge Plugins Hide. And we're going to enable, where is it? Landscape Fixes and Grass Patches Merged. So right click that, enable those plugins. Boop. Good. Drop down at a profile here. Go to Landscape Fixes for Grass Patches Merged. All right, there they are. All right, Skyvran, where are ya? This is all different now. Here it is. Skyvran Shimmering Waters. Okay, boom. And we just want the water grass here. We don't need to worry about these three just yet. So go ahead and leave it where it's at. Let's go into Z-Edit. Run. Drop down to Z-Merge. Start the session. All right, let's find Landscape Fixes. Here it is. Landscape Fixes. Okay, click on Edit. Go into Plugins. Go all the way down. And we just want to tick the box next to Watergrass. Skyvran Watergrass. Okay. And then let's build it. All right, let's close it up. Switch back to Legacy of the Dragonborn Special Edition. All right. Merge plugins hide. And let's hide those plugins. All right, next up, we're going to deal with the watercolor and the black reach of volcanic. Okay, so drop down, merge plugins hide. And we are getting, here is KIC plus RWT patches merged. So let's enable those plugins. Drop down this profile here. And we're going to go to keep it clean and realistic water 2 patches merged. All right, good. Then let's tick that box. Skyvran, good. And I'm just placing watercolor ahead of black reach of volcanic, even though I don't think it matters. All right, let's drop down to Z edit, click run, go to merge, start session. Okay, let's go find it. Here it is. Click on edit, plugins, and tick those boxes. Okay, and then build it. Very quick, very nice. Close it out. Go back to Legacy, the Dragonborn profile, and let's disable those plugins. So merge plugins hide. Right click, disable, boom. Awesome. All right, now there's some records that we have to forward. So let's go into SSE edit, choose everything. No mod groups, thanks. So on the filter down here, I'm typing in KIC because we want that merge patch that we just built. Go down, go into water, and there are 3 red ones we have to sort. So we're gonna do this the easy way. So from Z patch, where it says causes damage, we're gonna drag that over. Yes, I'm sure. Because we want this to say causes damage here. We want that flag rather. This makes it so it works properly with keep it clean. All right, having done that, we're going to right click on Z patch up here and remove. Piece of cake. And then do that with the black reach water. Drag that back and then remove the Z patch. Remove. And finally, volcanic water. Easy peasy. Close it out and make sure those are checked and okay. All right, we have one more step with Skyvran, and that's to run synthesis. So go into dropdown, click on synthesis, click run. Okay, since I never used synthesis before, it's telling me that I need to install .NET. Would you like to download it now? I'm clicking yes. And I'm downloading the x64. Saving it. And then I'm going to get into my download folder and I'm going to install it. Install. Okay, that ought to do it. And let's try again. Which game do you want to target? I'm going to say Special Edition, even though we're doing Skyrim VR. Okay, now let's run synthesis. All right, let's add some patches. So we're going to click on Git repository. Type in Skyvran. There it is. Hey guys, just a quick interruption here. For those of you who have been following a later version of Lexy's guide and have already been using synthesis, just incorporate these 2 patches for Skyrim into your current synthesis patch. But before you run synthesis, make sure you place synthesis.esp at the very end after occlusion.esp, then run synthesis, and then leave synthesis.esp at the very end. And obviously, you can disregard the 2 merges that are about to come up in this video. Let's start with the weather patch. So click on the little plus sign to add it. Cool, cool. Okay, it is now ready. All right, now let's run it. Nice, and now it's done. So go ahead and close it out. All right, let's check our overwrite folder. Okay, there's synthesis. And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna create a mod and I'm gonna call this Skyrim weather patch. Okay, having done that, I activate it. I'm just gonna place it directly after Skyvran Shimmering Waters. Now we're gonna merge this into that VR weather merge that we created. So let's go into merge plugins hide, then VR merge weather, right click, enable that plugin. There we go. Drop down into VR merge weather, right here. Very good. And now what we want to do is, yeah, I'm just gonna type in a filter here. There it is. There's our weather patch. Activate that. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. And Panserana Lurker here. Let's just move them out of the way. We're not going to concern ourselves with that. We just want our weather merge here. So let's go into Z edit, run. Go into Z merge, start the session. Let's go ahead and find that profile for VR weather merge. There you are. Click edit, go to plugins, go all the way down and select synthesis.esp. Okay, and let's build it. All right, that's done. Go ahead and close it out. Let's go back to Legacy of the Dragonborn. Good. Now let's merge plugins, hide. Right click on merge weather, disable plugins, and boom. Very nice. All right, now let's generate that second patch for Skyvran concerning cube maps. So git repository, search Skyvran, and we want the auto patcher. And we're going to click on the plus sign here. All right, good. Now we don't want the weather patch, so let's deselect that. And now click run. And that's it. Go ahead and close it out. Let's check our overwrite. There it is. I'm not going to worry about the SSE or the cache. Let's get rid of that. All right. Now let's right click on overwrite. Create mod. I'm going to call it Skyvran Cube Maps. And then OK. I'm going to place this directly after Skyvran weather patch. And I'm going to activate that. Okay, before we run loot, we could actually consolidate VR power attack. So drag this above Lexy's Legacy of the Dragonborn Omega conflict resolution. And let's open up SSE edit. Run. Just click OK. Entire mod list, whatever. I mean, we don't have to do this, but it's an easy way to get rid of a plugin, so why not? No bot groups, thanks. All right, let's go all the way down and locate VR power attack fix. Open that up. Right click on idle animation. We're going to deep copy as override into, yes, I'm sure, into Legacy's Legacy of the Dragonborn Omega conflict resolution. Tick that box, click OK. All right, now we can go out. Make sure that box is ticked, click OK. And now we can disable VR power attack. Because that's all it is, it's just a plugin. No big deal. There we go. And now we're going to install Wyrmstooth VR patch. This is a complete overhaul of the scene in Wyrmstooth where you control the Draugr. This scene has you exit your body and control an AI which does not function in VR. I have done my best to mimic this scenario in VR, him being Retro Carrot. You will be transported into the body of a Draugr and return to your existing body upon toggling the switch. Quest triggers have been kept intact and saving has been disabled during this scene to mitigate the potential for issues. Okay, let's install it. Files. Manage. Downloads. Download. And let's install it. Okay, and enable it. Okay, so that's all the mods that we're going to install here. The next thing we will install is how we're going to deal with image sharpening for Skyrim VR, whether it's going to be through ENB or the other mod, CAS, something. I'll show you in a second. But anyways, we got to run loot. So let's go ahead and run loot. And before we run this, let's actually create a loot rule for synthesis. Click on the three dots next to it, edit metadata, go to load after, add new row. We're going to load this after occlusion, so type in occlusion. There it is. Save it. Boom. And now let's go ahead and run it. Click apply, and that's it. Boom. There's one thing we want to make sure. Click on simple realistic Archery Vr. There's a weird thing about this plugin. If it's too low in the load order, it doesn't work. So just make sure you drag it away all the way up. In fact, I'm going to place it directly after dindala.esm. Okay, the first method of dealing with the blurriness that TAA introduces into Skyrim VR is the Sharper Eye, a lightweight VR reshade preset by Folger. I guess. Get rid of the blur and gray mist in your headset, which are clouding your vision. This VR-enabled reshade build and preset provide the most performance-friendly sharpening filter for Skyrim VR bundled with a subtle touch of contrast, brightness, and saturation, all configurable to your liking. With this method, you do not need to use ENB, and I recommend this if you don't want to use an ENB. But anyways, this is how you install it. Let's go into Files. We're going to manually download this. Let's go ahead and save it. Open up our download directory. Let's open up our Steam shortcut. Open up the zip file and just drag all of this into Skyrim VR. Done. That's it. It should just work. And also to note, if you want to adjust the values in game like brightness and color saturation and all that goodness, just go to the description page here and it tells you how. Right here. Adjusting values in game. Press the home button will open the built-in reshade and etc. etc. Okay, this is for those of you who want to run an ENB. I recommend Luminous ENB VR. It has the least performance impact and it does not break night vision. And overall, I like it. So first we're going to have to install the ENB binaries. So we're going to click on download, save. All right, let's open up our download folder. Open up our Steam shortcut. Open up ENB series. Go into the wrapper version. And we're going to select these two DLLs and drop them into Skyrim VR. All right, that's it for that. Okay, let's download the ENB. We're going to manually download this. Save it. And then we're also going to download Contrast Adaptive Sharpener for ENB. This is the secret sauce in making the image quality in your Skyrim VR much better with TAA on. And we want TAA on, otherwise you're going to get a lot of shimmering, a lot of jaggies. So this is just going to minimize the impact of the blurriness from TAA enabled. So let's download that. Save it. All right, let's open up our download folder. First, let's open up Luminous. Let's click on these files and extract it here into the download folder for now. Go and close that out. Let's open up CAS. Go into that folder. And we're going to drag these two ENB effect files into the ENB series folder we just extracted. Overwrite, yes. Okay, we can close that out. Now let's go back into our Steam shortcut. And we're going to drag local.ini ENB series in the folder ENB series, and we're going to drop that into Skyrim VR. All right, that's it. Okay, guys, once you're loaded up into Skyrim VR, there's some stuff that you want to do to make sure that everything is set up correctly with your ENB so that you're getting the max sharpness that you can, or the desired sharpness that you want. I'm demonstrating this in Skyrim Special Edition, but it's going to be exactly the same as Skyrim VR. This is just easier for me. So to open up your ENB window, press Shift and Enter. And you'll get that. Okay, then from here, over here in the left window, the whole screen's going to move with your mouse unless you hit the tilt key, but then you might be distracted with a second mouse here. Second mouse pointer anyway, so I'm not going to have the tilt key going on. So over here in the left window, you want to make sure Enable Post Pass Shader is enabled. In fact, let me get somewhere close. Like, look at the wall. Or, let's see. Or look at the bed. When I press it, you'll see how the sharpness just kicks in when you tick this box. And the hands came up. Disregard the hands. So look at the bed. I'm going to enable it and disable it. Oh, these stupid hands. All right. All right, I am going to use the tilt key. All right, look at the sheets on the bed. On, off, on. It's pretty dramatic in my opinion. So you want to make sure Enable Post Pass Shader is enabled. And you could actually even mess with this even further. Over here in the right window here, enable Post Pass.fx here. Expand that. And you could just tweak these here. But I'm honestly happy with just how it's set up, the way it is. So once again, I'll demonstrate. Off, on, off, on. Okay, so once you have these enabled, go up here and click on Save Configuration. The game will pause briefly, and then that's it. You never have to mess with this again. Then to get out, press Shift and Enter again. All right, carry on. And also keep in mind with ENB, your very first startup of Skyrim VR with an ENB is going to be extra long because it needs to build up the shader cache or whatever it's called. All right, and that's all the mods we're going to install in this portion of the video. So we're pretty much done. But there's probably other mods you want to install, like there's Mage VR and Throw Weapons and all that. Those are pretty popular. Spell Siphon. I'm not really interested in those mods myself, but feel free to tinker and install what you want. Just do your due diligence and check on conflict resolution. And also, I've included a link to this page from Skyrim Vr Reddit that has a listing of popular VR mods. My good people, welcome to VR. One of the first things you'll notice are widgets. You can adjust their positioning to your liking through their respective MCM menus. You want to look in a matter of time, Sky UI, and of course, I want widgets. I would like to thank you for following along with me and placing your trust in me. The VR conversion was the main reason why I started my How to Mod Skyrim series. I had a lot of fun producing this series, and I hope you all have found it useful. I would also like to thank DarkLadyLexy for creating such an amazing guide, and I'm very grateful for the notes she has given me along the way. And guys, please don't ask Alexi and company for support in regards to this VR conversion. It isn't supported by them. This was my own mad idea stemming from my personal desire to experience her loadout in VR. I can't believe how far such an old game has come. The many talented modders out there are constantly amazing me. Skyrim VR almost feels like a native VR game. I would like to give a very heartfelt thanks to all you amazing modders out there and the rest of the modding community. I wish I could name you all, but the list is long and the day is short. I love Skyrim. I love modding Skyrim. It's gotten me through some tough times. No matter how tough life may have seemed or how crazy the world may have gotten, I had this little world I could escape to, and I could make it into anything I wanted. So, go forth, my friends. Build the experiences you want. Make them happen. In Skyrim and in real life.
To your kindness, and when his eyes were distracted, you butted his head.
Maybe we'll pay you a visit tonight, little spy. We got ways of finding out what you really are.